to be recording because this is exclusive. Or this is intended for members, like to share it like with the community. Okay, so I will start. I would like to show you something about how I do personally use AI. So let me share my screen. Let me give you some context. For example, what I like to do is to tell AI what I need and how I'm thinking about the outcome or output, depending on the context. So, for example, this was a project for ShopTed where I've been working, and there was a task to really simplify how people could manage orders. This is how it looks today. There are like many actions people can take. The information is not really compact. It's really hard to navigate, hard to understand, find the right information. I would need a person to let people in, but I can do. What I did basically with help of AI, usually like from what I've seen on LinkedIn and other portals, is like people just vibe design or vibe code, whatever you call it, they tell those LLMs like, hey, I need a page which will inform customers about like what the order is and let them do the desired actions. For example, like create an invoice or process the payment or whatever. Through like multiple iterations, you can get the result you seek. What I try to do instead is get the numbers from analytics. So basically, I mapped how people have been using the actions on that page. I created like this visualization, like what is the frequency for each action. It took me some time, right? And what I also did is like processed the information about the usage. I got this information from Amplitude, which is event-based, let's say, telemetry tracking. It could be like Mixpanel, Google Analytics, whatever. And basically, I said, like, those are these segments, these are the actions, help me to understand the patterns. So he created like a couple of visualizations to really help me understand how people use it. Not to design it from scratch, because it would be like not really useful for the existing customer base. So I try to understand what it is. So as you can see, there's like some kind of distribution, histograms, and a frequency visualization. What we also did in the past was like card sorting. I think this one was closed one, to understand like how people think about different actions and whether they are like relations or not. So I got this information from, I think, ChatGPT. And what I did was, okay, I tried to simplify the original page, right? This is how it looks now. I got the numbers. I processed them. And then I was thinking, okay, how we could really simplify the page following how people use it nowadays. So instead of like, again, like vibe coding, I tried to apply some rules of simplicity. For example, John Media's fantastic laws of simplicity, a couple of them. If you are not familiar with them, those are great, like raw, reduce, organize. Like time is also like, depending on the context, time can be like a helper, and some others as well. Or you can use this remove, organize, hide, and displace type of simplicity principle as well. So I took those numbers, those designs, those principles. I basically told Perplexity, hey, this is what I have. Help me to organize the stuff. Create a couple of versions so I could judge them. I could better compare what it is. So I could better using my design mindset, design thinking, I could better choose the proper variants, for example, for A/B testing or like another click test kind of experiment. So this is how I feed it the beast with context, and these are the results I got. A couple of them, how it could be organized, different variants. So it's in Czech, as you can see, like the number of actions like decreases, and following the principles, he tried to hide some in more quotes. And yeah, I also have like from ChatGPT. This is from Claude for comparison, how he managed the actions as well. And with this, like if I every time I like provide this information, I get much better designs than if I would just said like, hey, just give me a design for order detail page. If I provide a context, which is easier to get, when I explicitly say, hey, I would like to apply these principles, it really helps them, the LLMs helps them to think how it should look or how it could look. So this is my approach. I think it's really interesting, and just to let you know, we then have we had a design team workshop. We went through those ideas. We created another one following the workshop, like design studio principles to inspire from other learnings. So we prioritized and we got some great learnings. So this is from me sharing how I use AI. So feel free to ask any questions if you have, or we can continue. Any questions, or we can go? Yes.
Yes, I wanted to ask you, do you use Claude code as a medium for getting the result for prompting, or you work directly in Figma or Fiction?
You mean if I got the numbers from Claude, or
how do you get the design? Like, where do you input the data that you are collecting?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, great question. Yeah, as I said, basically I open Amplitude. In our case, we have Amplitude, which is event-based tracking. I get the numbers. I usually export them into CSV or Excel file. I check them manually to see what is there, to understand potential risk of hallucination, so I could judge the output. And then I shared, or like I uploaded the CSV file to Perplexity. It could be in Claude, Gemini, or ChatGPT. My prompt was like simple. Hey, this is the data. This is the task. These are the principles. Generate at least 10 ideas, reusing and combining the laws of simplicity, and I got the results.
Which one did show the best results so far between tools?
To be honest, it was almost the same. Like Gemini, Claude and Perplexity. I'm not sure which model Perplexity used, because it was like in the auto mode. It depends on like it automatically selects the mode based on the tasks. So I'm not sure what it was. Maybe ChatGPT, I don't know. So it was basically like the same, because I was very specific about what I need. So the prompt was about like use each principle separately and then combine each principle. So create a combination, for example, with reduce and organize and those kind of things. So because it's LLM, it did the same job in the same way. Yes. Vani, yes, what's up?
Yeah, hi. So I had a
Hello.
question. Yeah, thanks for sharing, by the way. So my question was like, so was your design task just about re thinking the actions, or it was about the whole page? And so did you break down the task that you sent to AI, like just think about, or you organize the actions and not the entire page, or did you like, you know, redesign the whole page using AI? Like, I was wondering, does breaking it down help more, or
Mm-hmm.
like it's sending the entire use case?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, great question. Yeah, the primary task was about like reorganizing the actions. It was the main task. But as we went through the exercise, basically like we ended up by redesigning the entire page, because, for example, the law of organization was suggesting, hey, maybe it's not only about like the action specifically, but it's maybe plus the time. Claude, I think uh, it it suggested, I think it suggested, but we already thought about it with other designers as well. It's not maybe only about the action bar, but it's maybe about like taking the right actions and connecting them with the proper information on the page. So basically, we ended up with a redesigned page. I hope it answered your question. Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah, it does. Thank you.
Yeah. Happy to answer. Thank you. Great question. And maybe, yeah, let's move forward. If you have any questions about this task, we can discuss it after all the talks. And now I would like to pass the mic to Hamik, who will tell us something about design.md and design systems.
Thank you, Michael. Great presentation, by the way. I would like to see at the end also the final file, if you have it already, how you redesigned it afterwards. So it will be good to see what was the outcome. So first of all, I wanted to share actually my thoughts about AI in general, and wanted to ask also, what are you thinking about it? Because actually there are a lot of things happening, and the pot is really boiling. There are tons of things that are happening on weekly, if not daily basis. And sometimes I'm feeling actually quite confused, because I want to keep track of everything, but especially given the fact that I'm not doing only this, but I have also to work and leave, etc., it's actually almost not possible. So I think that we are still in some kind of area where everything is still changing. And you will see afterwards, actually, depending on what I'm going to present. And it's really interesting what we will end up with, because AI is really booming. It's learning very fast. It is changing very fast. There are things that were there 1 year ago and now are already non-existent. There are new things that are emerging. So it's really interesting what is going to be and how we are going to survive in that big metamorphosis. So one of the things that for me is completely clear is that AI is kind of becoming our partner in what we are doing. It's definitely not going to replace us. That's my opinion, but I am pretty sure about it, because there are some crucial things in the design thinking that AI is just not able to do. Yeah, like, for example, understanding the problem, yeah, or posing the problem correctly, having human empathy, uh, validating human behavior, etc. These things are really the most important ones, and AI will definitely not be able, at least in the observable future, get to those. So, but nevertheless, it can do really a lot of helpful tasks. And one of the things, as Michal was mentioning, is actually the research, where it can really help us a lot. Then even in ideation, sometimes it's really fun to give some task to AI and see what are the results that it is going to come up with. Because According to my experience, some are going to be really out of the context. It can hallucinate, it can provide things that are not really relevant. It can give something that is really relevant and really interesting. And sometimes it can give even some things that you would say, oh, wow, I would never think about this myself. But nevertheless, it's up to you afterwards to evaluate that and judge it and then understand which one will work in your exact case. And third thing that I think is the most used nowadays is actually design automation. And there I would really say that it is not really intelligence. It is more automation. That's what AI is doing. Not sure what is your experiences, but up to me, you're giving it some kind of rules. And based on those rules, you're getting some kind of output. Yeah, you do not really get their thinking process. So today I wanted to show you some practical things, how you can use AI to do some routine work. And let me share my screen for that. I will explain you actually what I was doing. Usually when you are starting with a design project, etc., either it is actually a completely new something, so you can start, well, I think that everybody here understands that design systems are important. So for AI as well. And it is important because that is becoming some kind of a library that you can share. You can share it between the fellow designers. You can share it between the developers as well. So this is something that is becoming a cornerstone of the design afterwards. And you can share it with AI as well. But AI is not that good with understanding it. Especially that until now, until like a couple of months ago, there were no real standards for design systems. Yeah, each organization had some kind of rules that were set up in-house, and they had some files, some organization of the folders, maybe organization of the pages in the Figma, etc. Maybe they are using something that is not even Figma at all. Nevertheless, it was more or less free how to organize it. And recently, Google, with their Stitch, came up with some kind of a standard that they call Design MD. Why MD? Because MD stands actually for Markdown, which is a format that is quite understandable for people and also for AI. And looks like it was actually very much needed because everybody jumped on board and everybody started to use that standard. So Design MD kind of became something that is widely used. And it is actually, I will show you how to do it and what to do it very practically. Let me share my screen here. So what I was trying to do actually, so in case you're starting from scratch, you can create your design system easily without any problem. That's pretty straightforward, right? But what if there is already a website and you need to create additional pages for that one or rework the pages as Michal was doing, etc.? How are you going to do in that case? So I have tried actually multiple tools, including AI itself, etc. I can tell that the one that gave me the best results was actually this website that is called designedmd.me. You can actually just simply type in here the URL and click on generate, and it will create for you. Actually, what it is going to do, it is going to create screenshots from several pages, and then it is analyzing the screenshots. So what is really funny that even if you are using AI, etc., if you're not giving him direct rule to analyze CSS, HTML, etc., it is going to make screenshots and then analyze those screenshots to come up with the design system. And I was getting actually very mixed results, even from Claude Design, from Google, etc., and all of them were giving me mixed results. This one was actually designmd.me. ME, gave me the best results possible, and I will show you actually what does it look like. So here is a file that I got from it. I will load it directly here. I hope it is visible. So this is actually the MD format. You can see that it is actually pretty readable for humans. Yeah, and if you're not familiar with it, I would really advise to get used to it, because it's very simple. Like, for example, you see hash, it's just heading 1. So if you look at it in a formatted way, it will be the big heading. Yeah, 2 hashes, it's heading 2. Yeah, so if you're using there, for example, double asterisks, that will be bold. Yeah, so if you are using here the pipes and dashes, you can make a table out of it. Yeah, but this is actually
no rush, but only 2 minutes left, right? Okay.
Okay. Okay, then I will try to go faster. There are also a lot of actually editors that can do this easier and more visible for you. Anyways, this is then something that I fed to Codex. In my case, it was Codex. You can use whatever, and I will show you actually what I did with Codex. Let me reshare the screen with a different setting. Here we go. Is it visible?
Yep.
Okay. So here is a very simple prompt that I gave to Codex. You can use the same prompt to any other AI and see what it does. It is going to be pretty similar. Yeah, so first of all, yeah, you need to connect the MCP to Figma from whichever AI you are using, etc., to make it work. But then afterwards, it was supposed to use the MD and create for me the design system in Figma. So you can see that it was working actually for quite a long time. To save that time, I will not be doing that one once again. But you can see 1 minute, 4 minutes, 6 minutes. Yeah. So at the end, what I got was actually a pretty interesting file that was already in Figma, and I will share that one as well. Here we go. So you can see what it created for me. Yeah, it's still named Untitled. I did not save it, but you can see it created a cover. It actually created also some kind of comments how it was working. And then you can see the foundations. It created for me the color system, the typography. Is it visible? Should I make it bigger? The spacing, the radiuses that are used, the elevation of some cards, etc. And then let's get to the components. Here you can see it created for me the buttons, whatever is used there, and it's really actually correct. Yeah, so if you go to aftermarket.zf.com or just zf.com, you can see it harvested the icons. It created the cards, the text input, how it looks like, the labels, the navigation bar, breadcrumb, the badges that are used, and confirmation. And why this is good? Because actually now I can do whatever change I want here. If, of course, it is not perfect. Yeah, definitely. There are some things that are not included. There are some things that have to be corrected and they are not very precise and so on. Nevertheless, it's actually, I think for me, it saved at least a couple of days of work. And what is really good that now it is scalable, because now I can do the changes in Figma, feed it back to the design MD, and then keep that design MD as one point of truth that I can feed to any other AI, or I can use also in Figma. Yeah. So afterwards, when I'm going to create a page, I'm going to just feed first of all the design design.md to any AI agent, and then ask it to use it to create the pages. Why actually also design MD? Because it is going to save you a lot of tokens. Yeah. So if you are comparing with reading HTML or CSS or whatever, MD is read much more easier by any AI agent, and it will save you a lot. Yeah. So two things that will save you hugely. First, use that web page to create the design system. It's free, actually. Well, you have several attempts to do it free, and then if you log in, then you can do several more attempts. So you will be able actually to generate 10 design systems for free. So that's completely free of charge. And then additionally, when you continue, it is going to be also quite simple, because you will have the possibility to feed directly Design MD into AI and not use the tokens to harvest that information from the page. Yeah, one more thing that was important, utilities that it created. You can see it created for me even the header, the footer, and some kind of hero banner for the product pages. So that's it. And now, any questions?
Yeah, there is at least one in the chat. Is there any way to create design MD file from existing Figma design system?
Yes, actually, from existing Figma design system, also possible. There is a plugin for that directly in Figma. And actually, it is called design.md, if I'm not mistaken. Let me check just momentarily. I will tell you precisely how it is called. But of course, from Figma, you will not get exactly what you are getting, because if I will share with you what the Design MD actually also includes, let me maybe show it once again so that it's clear, because it's not just a collection of the colors, etc., but it has also rules in it. So based on the page itself, the AI is able to generate some kind of rules. I'm not sharing, right? Here, let me try once again. Is it visible now?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Does it come?
Yep.
Yeah, so you can see in the beginning, first of all, it has some kind of explanation. Yeah, so here it says, I'm not sure if it is readable or not, but it says ZF aftermarket design system embodies professional automotive expertise with a clean, purposeful aesthetic. It combines industrial confidence with modern digital clarity, etc. All this is actually just generation from the view of the page that AI saw and created this kind of comment. So this is actually something that is also going to be used when this Design MD is fed to the other AI. Yeah. So usually in Figma file, you do not have these kind of things. Yeah. So why MD is also important, because it has also that. Additionally, at the end, it has also some things like, for example, do's and don'ts. Or white space philosophy. Yeah, white space is deliberately generous and structured. The design favors clarity and density. Sectors are separated by substantial vertical spacing. Then use the primary blue. Maintain sharp corners. Apply generous padding. Yeah, all these things. Design MD or any, if you are giving a web page to AI to create the Design MD, it is going to create for you also these kind of instructions, yeah, which is very useful afterwards for other AIs. Yes.
We need to move forward. This is really interesting. Let's see if you have some time at the end.
Sure.
So we could continue, maybe answer some questions. So please, Mira, Ludmila, and others, please note it down so you don't forget it. Now we need to move on and continue with Rome, I think, right?
Yeah, that's right. And thank you, Hamik, for bringing up this topic with MDs and README files, because I was just today creating a prototype in Claude code, and I was just telling myself that for this time I really need to do the proper MD or README file, because it can really save you a lot of work when you're working on different iterations. So really great topic. Let me just share my screen. Okay. So hello again, good afternoon, good evening. I would like to guide you through my process or my experience of converting icons between formats. And I did it in Claude with little help of Figma. Just to give you guys a little context, I got the task, I got the task that if I could create like 10 icons for one of our websites. So sure, I did those icons, or like I took them from our media library, I changed the size, I changed the colors, and then I sent them back in SVG. But to my surprise, they actually didn't want the SVG, but they asked me to create these icons in a font format. Because like this one website of ours, it's like really old legacy solution. And for some kind of technological issue, they're not really able to support SVG. And the part of the task was also as well to check the precise font style that there's being used there. And then I will create it in that specific style. And first of all, I was like super like puzzled, right? Because I never heard of anything like font style icons. So firstly, I really needed to check with Claude if something like that even exists. Turns out, yes, it exists. And also good news where that Claude can actually help me to transform SVG and turn them into some font format. And that he can do it from Figma. So okay, now the first part of the equation or of the task is to figure out the correct format of the icons, right? Because that was also part of the task. And firstly, I tried to do it by myself by using developer tools. I opened the website, I browsed the developer tools, but for some reason, I wasn't really able to find anything in there in terms of the icon format. Then I used Claude for help. I just inserted there the URL of the website, asked him to check for the font icons, but he was not really successful with that. Then I tried and I did some screenshots of the developer tools and hand them back to Claude. And he was trying to navigate me. What should I do? What other screenshot should I do? But also, this was not really successful. But eventually, Claude came up with this idea that we could create maybe a set of 3 the most common icon fonts formats. And those turned out to be WO, F2, FF2, W, OFF, and TTS. And apparently, if you combine them with some CSS and HTML files, then developers can do their magic and make font icons out of it. So, okay, we have the fonts, and now we really need to do the real conversion process from SVG to font. And again, I did it in Claude. Firstly, what I wanted to do was just ask Claude to take the icons from Figma, because I had them stored there, and just convert them. But for some reason, I don't know why, this didn't work. Usually Figma MCP is working just fine, but there are some issues. So I had to upload the SVGs manually into Claude. Then after the first iteration, I got some icons back, but they were really deformed. And we were inspecting on it with Claude what went wrong, and it turned out that this issue arose because apparently SVG is stroke based and font icons are fill based, so there is some kind of mismatch. And luckily, Claude was also able to fix it. He opened it in Inkspace. I never used Inkspace, so luckily he spared me this and he just fixed it. And a little bit of the last challenge that we had there were issues with alignment. He got me the icons and they were not really aligned to the center. They were aligned to the left or right or to the top. I told him to align them to the center, and he said that he did, but actually he didn't. So we had a little round of this conversation, but eventually he managed to do them perfectly. and the job was done. For you guys to, so you could see the output, what I got from Claude. The first one, or like first second files were HTML code that was actually a preview. You can see it in here. So after every iteration, I could have opened the HTML file and see the icons and see if they're all right or not. Then the next file was CSS file. And then the rest was basically the font styles, 3 of them. And he just told me to hand over everything to the developers, and they will do their magic, and they will be really able to deploy them. And basically, that's the whole process. And I think I saved myself like hours on it, because always when I was doing something with icons, it always took me a lot of time, and this maybe took me an hour. So that comparison of time is just huge, and it's really beneficial. So I'm really happy that I tried it. And that's basically all from my side. Do you have any questions?
I have one question. When you were first, you were saying that you were feeding the Figma file and somehow it didn't work. You had to do it manually. The icons were actually on separate pages?
No. They were on the same page. They were on.
Yeah, most probably that was the problem.
What do you mean?
Because it was not able to separate them one from the other to understand what is what.
But they're like separate icons.
For us, yes. For us, yes. But for him, it is a canvas.
It's possible. I can't like.
Maybe most probably, yeah. It's difficult to say for sure. But yeah, next time, when you're trying something like this, try to separate it to pages. Because often Claude does not, even if the canvases are next to each other on the, or if you have actually 2 icons on one canvas, etc. For him, it is difficult to understand. Is it part of the same thing, or these are separate things, etc. So this separation most probably can be the reason for failing.
Okay, that's interesting. I can check that, definitely. Thank you for the tip.
Thank you very much, Romy, for sharing. This was great. How we could use those tools, because like every time I was checking or requiring some kind of format for icons, going through those free converters was like really pain. Was a real pain, because like some are for free. Sometimes I was scared like they will steal my work, basically, because I was like feeding their website with my stuff. So thank you for sharing.
Yeah, exactly. And I was also considering firstly to I was thinking about to upload it in some transfer software, how do you call it? But then the icons that actually bought, the company bought them, they're for the internal purpose. You can't really share them on the internet. And for the Claude, we have a company license, so of course it's fine. So yeah.
Perfect. Thank you very much. And yeah, next is Mira. He has 2 topics to share. So floor is yours.
So thank you. Let me share. I have slides too, because the time is short and I don't want to forget anything. So you should see, I don't know. Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. So everything is fine. I'm Mira. I'm UX designer at Shopted, which is e-commerce platform. I didn't code, but I use LLMs for many things. I experiment with design system work, UX writings, printing, research, personal automation, and more. And I have 2 micro talks for today. Both are about how to squeeze more for LLMs. So let's jump on the first one. Teach your LLM to ask, not to answer. The problem, LLMs rather guess than ask. How often, you can ask yourself, how often do you reprompt because the LLM just made stuff up? I guess not rarely. So it's because LLMs default to confident, complete-looking answers. They don't say, I don't know your context, could you tell me more? Michal tried to cover the feeding context to the model. My first talk is the flip side, letting the model ask for it. So why it happens? You've probably heard about it, so just briefly, LLMs have been trained by human raters, rewarding responses that look helpful and complete. So the result is psychofancy bias, which means LLMs tend to guess and agree with you. And the problem is that the bias is silent. There's no I'm guessing here sign. So what helped me? The fix is tell it to ask you. In any prompt, you can add a sentence like, ask me anything that would help you answer this better. So you got some questions first. Or you can prompt Claude, if you use Claude, to use the native ask user question tool, which gives you structured multi-choice option. So you don't need to type, just click, or pick with arrows if you prefer terminal. And then you can add it to your system prompt, to your custom instructions, agent MD, Claude MD, whatever you use to have it every time. Because ask user questions is great, but it's limited by a number of questions, a number of options. You can make more complex asking cheap to answer to. If it can't fit into ask user questions, just give the model instructions to number its questions so you can answer quickly by referencing their numbers. I think the screenshot shows the point. So the models that asks are smarter than models than guess. The effect is to flip the model from guess to check mode. If you spend 5 minutes with answering the questions, you can save hour of retries or reprompts. So first micro topic is done, and second one is Claude Code without the code. I live in Claude Code. I use it as my primary AI interface. Not for the code, but for the tools around. I give you a short example. I did 16 UX research transcripts, or AI did it for me, but I had these transcripts. And then I asked Claude to find mentions of something like checkout or payment or anything else. And the Claude picked the right tool. It wrote a small Python script, ran it, handed me the output. I didn't open the script or write a line of code because it wasn't the goal to write the code. But the Claude can pick the right tool for me. It can pick the right tool even for you, and it can use it. Here are some examples of tools that Claude uses for me. They are CLI tools. They run in terminal. They usually have no UI interface, but it doesn't matter because Claude uses them for me. I don't need to install them, manage them, or run them, or whatever else. So when to nudge it? The model often does this on its own, but it's useful to give it a small hint, like use a tool for this. You don't need to be very specific, just something. Or don't compute by yourself, use a tool. Or if there are more than 10 items, don't use the LLM core, but use some external tools that can make it do it in a batch. So bake the nudge into your system prompt once, and it applies every time again. So the code in my case is for the model, not for me. There are some wins, especially in scale, when you batch process or have large data and so on. It's usually more precise because it's deterministic, reproducible for some cases, for some tasks. It saves tokens and it saves the context window. So that was the second topic. Thank you. Any questions?
Thank you very much, Miro, for sharing. Yes, feel free to ask.
Yeah, hi, I had a question. Are you able to share the system prompt? Like, what did you use to kind of ask for the context? I think Claude kind of does that at many a times, but I was wondering if you had anything to share, what you put in a system prompt.
I think there's some magic in my configuration. I just had a chat several times with my Claude. How can I improve this? How can I push the Claude to ask me more often? And these are the results. And so I don't want to give you any universal answer, because I think there is no universal answer. I just recommend you to try to talk about this with your LLM, and it gives you some suggestions how you can configure it to do this for you. So that would be my answer.
Got it. Yeah, thank you.
Use your LLM to make the LLM better for you, better suited for you.
Yeah, in this case, my personal experience is like every time I try to do anything with LLM is to do like a couple of like pilot sessions. For example, when I'm processing, I don't know, like data or creating whatever, I chat with Claude or Gemini, for example, and ask questions, let them ask questions and see, let them do like the first pilot sessions, for example, to process, I don't know, like first 50 sentences, see the result, discuss it, reply to questions, iterate it again, and the mechanism will improve itself. So the outcome at the end is much better. Perfect. Thank you very much, Miro. It was great. Who's next? It should be Saitan, but he's not here. Or are you? Not really. So the next one is Ludmila. She will tell you about using Cloud Cowork. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. Actually, can I be the last one?
Yes, you can. So,
okay.
Thank you. So, Tatiana.
So I'll share my screen. So can you see it? Okay, so the topic is designing for half-documented systems and using Cloud Code to resolve Figma drift. Here's a problem. Sometimes Figma and code diverge. And it's quite lucky if you are working with a system that is perfectly documented in Figma, because sometimes, which was my case when I joined one of the projects that I was working on recently, features were built without a designer in a loop. Sometimes there were designers who were contributing, but sometimes they were dropping in and off out of project. So there were multiple contributors that would work on the same screens. And over time, it happened that what Figma described was planned, but it was not live. So the client was thinking, like, how do we proceed from there? And the first solution was to make Figma the source of truth. It would mean documenting undocumented and inconsistent UI parts, and that would result with assigning dev time to reconcile code with Figma. Solution B would be to keep Figma for early ideas and low fidelity exploration and prototype directly in the live code base using Cloud Code. So if you're in a startup environment, solution B would be probably more relevant. It's not necessarily the best one, because having well documented system is of course optimal. But if you are aiming for a fast delivery and you cannot really spend a lot of time going back to Figma and perfectly aligning all screens, and yeah, so that would be more speedy solution that we proceeded with. And what I wanted to share more is how my workflow changed when my high fidelity prototyping shifted to Cloud Code. So the updated workflow looks like that. I do my low fidelity layouts in Figma. I have there my user flows, early concepts, and then I'm having MCP layer that I received from the front-end development team, and it connects to my Cloud Code environment and works as a filter to interpret the design that I'm still having in Figma partially. There's a lot of misalignment between tokens in Figma and in the production, but yeah, so we do not really want to align it neither in code nor in Figma, and trying to find a middle ground that would help to move forward with the design. So yeah, that layer works as an interpretation of the Figma design, and because it knows the actual components, the tokens that are currently used in the front end, in the products that are already working, and also there are structures, not only tokens, but reusable components. And the way it works now is that I'm prototyping in a branch, put changes when it's done, and merge after the dev review. That's it. Sorry, it's shorter than maybe what's expected, but wanted to share my updated workflow.
Yeah, that's great.
Questions?
Thank you very much for sharing.
Questions?
You were mentioning that tokens-wise, there are some problems because there are some inconsistencies. Do I understand correctly?
Yeah. So there were multiple designers contributing to this project, and we were having the same colors named in a different way. Sometimes it was like semantic token. Sometimes we would name it in with a different rules. It would be like gray 500. In other set of components, it could be gray surface. And in the front end, it would be something completely different. So rather than going back in Figma and trying to align it with the use case that we're having in front end, I rather went to work with code directly.
Understood. Thank you. And does it give you now consistent results for all the pages that you are prototyping? There is still room for refinement. I have to iterate on results. MCP gives a lot of consistency, specifically with the components that are being developed previously, and there is already like existing patterns about it. But I have to define which component I need to use in which context. So if I'm using a naming, that provides consistent results. Otherwise, there is room for interpretation, and yeah, there are some hallucinations there. Thank you.
Annie, I think that's correct.
Yeah. For that question. So, is your front end library, as in the code library, connected to Cloud Code, or is it your design system library or library connected to Cloud Code? Because I was wondering, your code library itself could be connected to Cloud Code, right? And then can you be designing directly, like can you be doing high fidelity prototyping directly in Cloud Code using that library instead of having to use front end design system?
Yeah, so the first iteration was using directly the code base and trying to generate some consistency based on it, but there were hallucinations because the patterns were not documented, and we are having a functional product on the website, the project that I'm talking about. And it's a bit more complex than a website where you would have section with call to action and yeah, like simple website layout. It was more like table-like structures. And if there are more complicated patterns, there is room for hallucinations. And this is when MCP brought a lot of clarity.
Got it. Okay, makes sense. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much for sharing. I'm really curious about if you could share some details about the MCP configuration, because for example, what I did is we have this like monorepo in GitHub of the entire application. So I did clone the repo into my computer. I connected MCP to Figma, and I tried to prompt like, hey, these are the resources I would like to visualize in Figma. Here is design system, here is the code created in Figma, and basically it failed because like for multiple reasons. It really didn't understood the structure in the code. So would you mind telling us more about the MCP config, how it works, what's on the background?
It was not done on my side. It was done on the side of the front-end team, because I had to explain them that we have these two paths. Either I spend eternity of trying to align Figma with design system, or you spend the eternity trying to make sense, trying to make a pixel perfect implementation of things that I will design in Figma. So they said, no, we choose the third part. We develop MCP server for you that you work with. So yeah, it was handled by a development team.
Question. Sorry. Is it okay to ask a question now?
Of course, we have.
Yeah, thanks. It's a fascinator. It's a good job what you did. I have a question, which is like, maybe it's a silly question, but you are using the code to connect to the front end, right? So is it become like a sort of a automation? Like if it's become automation, then in the future, are some designers come up with different names or maybe same element, across the line of consistency, but will the code is automatically execute? Oh, this is wrong. You have to change. I mean, this is wrong, and the code itself correct it, and then give it to the front end, or you have to each designers go to double check. Is it like if there's duplications or repetitions or some inconsistent names?
It's a developer in a loop that is checking what my output. That's the question.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. I mean, my team said that now beyond designer, my role is extended to junior front-end developer because I don't clearly understand the output, and I'm giving to them for review. So only once it's approved and they see that there are no critical errors, they can merge it.
Okay, thank you.
Does it answer the question? I'm still trying to define the border between where the designer role finishes and the front end starts. For now, I don't have exact answer. It's kind of collaborative.
It's changing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's we're using, the code for AI to assist us, to help us to make things more easier. But I'm just I'm curious, how the automation works, the automations that work, it doesn't mean it's flow smoothly without any errors, without someone control that.
Yeah, I mean, very valid questions. Yeah. And I think the systems that are how documented or not documented, and the use case that Hamik mentioned in the beginning, how do we prototype for those systems? How do we work with them and produce the most consistent results?
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Sure.
Perfect. Thank you very much for your explanation, Tatiana. Thank you for great questions. And now let's continue to Ludmila about how to use Cloud Cowork, sorry, for a job search, which is slightly different topic, but very useful for us in the future once we lost our job after AI takes over. Thank you.
I'm hoping that will not happen. But anyway, I'm looking for a job right now, so it's kind of practical oriented at, let's say, skill to use a Cloud Cowork and some other tools I will present. So yeah, I use except Cloud Cowork, also Notion for like creating a job board, and also Obsidian. And how I connect the Cloud Cowork. First, I connect Notion directly. I will show you how to do that. You can use the connectors here, and first time you would need to click Add Connector here and search for the Notion, but once you use it, it will appear here, so you can turn it on and off.
Sorry, I think you are sharing the wrong screen, or we were not seeing it.
Okay, I see.
We were seeing the presentation.
Yeah. Just a second. Yeah, like that it's working, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, here in a Cloud Cowork, you open connectors, add connector. That's for the first time. You will search Notion here and attach the Notion to your Cloud.
Yep.
And like second time, you will see Notion here, and you can turn it on, turn it off. That's how I connect directly Notion to the Cloud. And Obsidian, I'm using mostly to kind of for search documents. And actually, it's really helpful to open kind of two files. For example, here are my two resumes and kind of compare those two files. And basically, this is my folder on my desktop, which I created specifically for the job search. And here, all the companies I've applied, and I did some research also with Cloud Cowork. And here, my PDF files with cover letter, resume, and company research. And basically how it works, I connected Cloud with a file, and I just look at the files inside through the Obsidian. To connect a folder, there's here, you can connect to the folder and connect your folder. For the safety reasons, do not connect a desktop folder. Use a specific folder for this reason. Yeah, but in general, it works pretty nice. And what I do in Notion, to be completely transparent, I do not apply automatically. I apply everywhere manually. There are reasons for that, because some job boards or maybe websites can track if the bot applied or a person actually applied to this job. And also, it's kind of a little bit not working, I think, because in my experience, I was searching for a job like last year, and then I'm searching again it right now. So a little bit more personal, maybe message would be working better than kind of automatic letter from the AI. So what it does here, actually just making your job search faster and job tracking more efficient. What I do here in Notion, it's only like this, like moving the cards forward and back, and that's it. I also use a search in the job search, board. For example, I'm searching for the company name and move it like this, and that's it. Also, I do recommend to create the chart like this and apply filters here. I basically don't need this column, which I didn't apply yet. So I just excluded this column, and I see how much jobs I applied, how much I got rejected, and how much I get interviews, and etc. And I also have a table view. I'm not using it like very often, but I can see which one better to apply first here. And I also want to show the structure inside the card. I use the naming and company in the heading, so exactly as I showed, so you can search the job. Second, I use URL. This is not important. Priority, God knows how the Claude itself generating the priority for me. I have no idea, but it kind of works actually. Yeah, so pretty nice thing. And the work mode also kind of important for me here. And statuses you can see directly on the job board. Yeah. And how I use Folder or Obsidian is basically here the adapted CV cover letter, which also generated for me a Claude Cowork, and also company research, which is also generated Claude Cowork, and somehow found information about the company through the internet. And if we have a few minutes here, I can show you how it works, like in real time. Here's a prompt which I use. First one is used for the Notion job tracking, and second one for the exactly files on the desktop to create the files. But I will use the first part right now because it's just faster. And I basically place here the prompt, and then never somewhere. Just a second, a job. Okay, I lost it. No, okay, there is a job. Some just random job I searched. So I just copy paste it like that. Put it here. And also copy paste the link because Claude doesn't know where from the link goes. And it does the magic for me. Let's wait a little bit. Maybe I can answer some question while it's generating. Maybe it will be fast, I don't know. And the other interesting thing, you can directly upload the same stuff here again and put it in the queue. So while you kind of searching, it will generate all the stuff for you. So it's really kind of make you job search faster. I think from about 3 jobs in a day, I started to apply for maybe 5 or 6. So it's kind of twice made it faster.
While it's processing the data and prompt, can I have a question?
Yeah, sure.
How long have you been using this process? This is the first part. And since you started with this approach, which is great, thank you very much for sharing. It's really inspiring. Do you see any improvement in like how companies react to your CV or portfolio? What's the response rate? Did it help or is it the same?
I've been using it since this year, I think a few months, maybe 3 or 2 months. How the companies, it's hard to say because I just kind of redesigned my portfolio. So I did a lot of improvements, including my CV improvement, even without AI stuff and etc. So it's hard to say if that was helping or updating my portfolio was helping or maybe something else. But I don't know. I think it's working in a way of moving faster. It's working pretty nice. Yeah, so now I'm having interviews. So this is great. Yeah. So I hope I answered the question.
Yeah, great. Thank you.
Yeah, I will show, since it's did some work, I will show how it looks like in the Notion. It always put the card you generated always down for some reason, but anyway, I think the job widget. Yeah, basically this is a copy of the job description. The reason why I put it here in the Notion, because I got situations when I get interviewed, but on their website, the job description disappeared, the job application disappeared, any like description of the job disappears. So I didn't remember what exactly was the job about. Yeah, so keeping the stuff somewhere inside your project is quite important. Yeah, and it fills all the stuff here. Made a priority medium. I don't know why. Put the salary, put the source. Yeah, and that's it. Usually when I do here, I just move it up if that's relevant. Usually I move up, I don't know, the high priority job cards. And then when I applied manually, as I mentioned before, I just move card here. And this is really time saving. Sometimes they kind of company research helps, but mostly this is for the interview. So this part of company research, I sometimes use it only before the interview because there is not much reason to do company research before the interview. Sometimes it helps, sometimes it's not really helping. Yeah, cover letter and CV is pretty helping. Again, I'm not showing it right now because it takes time and it's longer. But it will create like a PDF file if you ask in a PDF, maybe any other file options in your folder. And if you use Obsidian, you will find a company name, and under a company name, all those PDF created. Except of that, just a sec, I'll find it again.
If you could finish it in 1 minute, so we can answer
Yes.
some questions and maybe get back to other questions about like Hamik's topic.
Yeah, sure. just to notion that I have GitHub where you can download MD skills for CV adaptation, cover letter, and job search with Notion and Claude. That's it.
Awesome. So thank you very much for sharing. Anyone having any questions?
Yeah.
Now just wishes of best of luck.
Thank you.
Same. May I ask something? If you can hear me well. Well, actually, so first, congratulations, because the work is very nice. Maybe it resonates because I'm on the same boat, searching for a job, and you actually did something that I've also felt like doing sooner or later. So maybe you can document this in your portfolio as well. This piece of work that you have done. And some of the questions I had, you answered them already at some point. Like, are they manual actions that you do, like searching for a job offer and then applying on the website? So those are manual actions. So I was wondering, what would you say this tool is helping you the most? Is it about tracking and taking stats, having stats about your, and also generating the documents? Do you think, have you found any ways that you can maybe improve it by making it more automatic in the things that this is manual now? And final question is, are you training any agents in order to encapsulate yourself, what you are, what you're looking for, and what fits you best?
Okay, I will start from the last one because that's one question. So please repeat it step by step. So no, I do not create any agents for now. Right now, I'm pretty satisfied with what I have. Maybe in the future, I will look in that direction, but right now it's pretty much working for me. Where it's working, I'm a little bit messy person, so to do the manually those cards and job tracking in the Notion, sometimes I just forgot to do that. Sometimes it takes a lot of time. Because you need to search those exact moments you want to kind of save for the next steps. So right now it's first saving me the time of manual filling in the Notion. That's for sure, as I mentioned, about twice of time. Saves of time for CV cover letter, but I still using my own templates, and I using that what Claude generated for me mostly as an example. I don't know, for me, I kind of hating all the templates and all other AI generated, CVs and etc. because they always make me 3 pages. But I can fit it 1 page or 2 page by myself, so I don't know why it's always doing that much space there. But yeah, I do it a little bit more manually in my way. So yeah, mostly it's kind of saving my time, making more applications for sure because it saves the time. And tracking, as I showed there, by how much I applied, how much got rejected, and where I get interviews.
Very nice. Congratulations and good luck.
Thank you. Yeah, other questions?
Can I have another one?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, thank you very much for sharing again. It was really great to see like how organized you are and what your process is. And it's slightly unrelated topic, but somehow related. As you are in the job search, maybe Elio, you as well. How often you faced the AI on the other side? And there was like, I don't know, like this HR avatar or whatever. doing the interview for you with you?
Great question. Yeah, I faced it a couple of times. That's pretty much embarrassing because sometimes I got one situation when the tool kind of asked me, "Tell me about yourself." I told about myself. Usually with HR, it takes I don't know 3-6 minutes maximum, and I thought that AI will act as HR and it will continue to asking me questions, but it didn't at all. So I got one question, and I was like telling and sitting and I was not understanding what is happening here. Yeah, that's pretty much embarrassing, and we're out from the company as well because it's also kind of their reputation and their look to the people. So I don't know, not really a great experience.
Okay, thank you for sharing.
Will you work in a company that is using AI for HR?
Good question. I think if the experience with AI will be fine, not as I mentioned before, I think I will because I'm also pretty much, as you see, oriented into automation stuff, and I'm also exploring Cloud Code and other AIs. So yeah, maybe yes. Depending on the company, I would say like that, and on the people.
Personally, I got one phone call from this AI HR assistant. It was like, "Hello, I am Charles. I am HR AI assistant." And I was like, "Okay, thank you." Dismissed the call.
In my experience, if I can add about AI, so I stumbled upon one platform, one job offers platform that was using AI to get my information instead of me just typing it all or uploading the file. So it let me upload my CV, and then it started asking me questions which were actually pertinent on what was written into the CV, trying to understand what I believed was the best experience, best work experience, or my best piece of work or project, and so that it could create the profile into the job platform for me at best. And another experience was a company that was using AI as an assistant to let me do some exercises for some early hiring steps. Instead of having just a static form with all the exercises in there, was this AI system that was asking me questions. Of course, the questions, I think they were static. The exercises themselves were static, but the questions and the conversation, it was very conversational. So that was interesting. I don't remember the names though, the company.
Thanks for
sharing. It was a no, probably.
This is interesting. Okay, anyone having any other questions about like using cloud cowork? Or there was like a huge interest in design.md. So maybe, or if you have any other questions about other topics we discussed, feel free to ask. Just raise your hands. We still have like.
Actually, I have a question. If you don't mind. I was having a question for the Hamik about design MD. And I just didn't understand where you place MD file, so you get the visuals in Figma from the file.
You can either give it the path, or you can just upload it to either Claude or Codex, whatever, because you can upload the file, right? So you can do both. If you are then later on working with a project, because now Google Stitch or Claude Design, they are making projects that you can work. You can just place that file into the project folder, and it will take it. So however you feed it to him, it is going to eat it. Yeah, so no problems with digestion afterwards. So either uploading, giving the path, because the path also, yeah, you can give a relative path on your computer. So that also works.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Yes, Miro.
Okay, so yet another question for Hamik. Thank you for sharing the tip for the design md.me tool. I didn't know that. I don't know if you tried, but I'll try to ask anyway. Does it work with websites that are not public, like web application after with login or so?
I did not try actually with logged in, but you can feed it also screenshots.
Okay.
So if you know the login and password, you can log in and do a screenshot, or usually it's better to have a long screenshot of a page, yeah, and scroll. You can feed it to him, and because anyways, it is also, you're giving him one URL, it is browsing through a couple of pages, doing a couple of screenshots, and based on that, it is creating the design MD. So you can feed it also images, and it's the same thing.
Okay, so you think it doesn't read the code?
It does not.
Okay, thanks. Yeah.
It does not. Yeah, I was actually quite surprised with other tools, because in the code in HTML, usually the colors are, at least the colors, yeah, they are specified. And I was getting wrong results. So I was really quite surprised. And then I started to dig deeper and understood that actually, yeah, it is taking a screenshot. And then based on that screenshot, it is doing, but that is the reason why it is able to give also some contextual results, like explanation how the layout is done, what is the main theme, etc. These kind of things it understands based on the screenshot of the page itself.
Thank you.
Yes, Bunny.
Yeah, I had the follow-up question for the MD as well. So you uploaded the MD file to the Claude, but you also used some, I don't know what is that. Was that some library, Figma Generate Design and Generate Library?
No, these are just skills. When you are actually connecting Figma to Claude or to Codex, yeah, there is the MCP, and MCP consists of multiple skills. Yeah, so these are just the skills that are inside of the MCP, and I just told it to use those two specifically because we needed actually to Codex to create a page, yeah, to design in Figma, and also to make that a library afterwards. So you can see actually these are just skills that are inside of the MCP, and they are visible when you are saying use and then putting the slash. It is going to offer you, and typing Figma, it is going to offer you all the skills that came with the MCP.
Got it. And so how did you use the Figma MCP itself, or other library? Okay.
Yeah, it's just Figma MCP, so nothing additional. Yeah, it's just the prompt that I gave is just based on the MCP of connection between Codex and Figma, and then the skills are coming with it, so there is nothing additional. Yeah, it's just the MD file and those skills from the MCP.
Got it.
Yeah, and also the last link is actually to the file in the Figma where I wanted Codex to create the library.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Got it. Thank you.
By the way, we still have 20 minutes. Is there anyone who is brave enough and still has enough energy to share another trick, another tip, or how to use AI to be more efficient?
Hello, sorry again. I have just a comment to move on from Hamik's presentation work, which was very nice. It reminded me of something that well, we were starting doing in the company I was working before, and so getting like screenshots and inferring design systems from there can be a starting point for a more complex workflow, whereby you have like legacy applications that you want to migrate onto a new design system that is shared across the company. So maybe you have several legacy products, and you can use that technique as a starting point to try and infer what are the legacy design systems. And then once you have them, use AI to try and translate, map those legacy design systems. Maybe at that time they were not even conceived as design systems, but anyway, they had like visual rules, okay, and map them to actually a well-thought and UX-backed design system that the company is adopting. So maybe you can even further improve that tool in order to do something even bigger than that. And that's a good use of AI to move forward from there.
Yeah, definitely. It's just the beginning. Yeah, from there on, you can go to any other direction. You can improve the design system, because you saw, yeah, it was quite primitive still. There were no real definition between the mobile and the desktop, etc. Even though there were, it understood that there are some breakpoints for the screens, etc. But it did not create the correct components for different layouts, because it actually used just the desktop to make the screenshot, and based on that created the design empty. Nevertheless, yeah, you can actually elaborate that and make it more complex. And then the important thing is actually just to have that file afterwards, because that will be a point of truth between the developers, designers, and AI. Yeah, so you can use that one file to create consistent output from all three parties.
And also the design MD file survives the various models, because with time you will have new tools, new AI tools and models. But if you manage to write it down in the design MD files, that's transparent to all the tools.
True, but as I was saying, it's really boiling now, yeah? So we don't know what is going to be afterwards, because it's been actually quite a while that MD format, Markdown format, is been established as some kind of standard for not only design MD, but also many other types of things that are in collaboration with AI. And just a week or 10 days ago, I don't know if you know Tariq from Anthropic. So he actually posted that he would propose and promote to use HTML instead of MD.
Well,
so yeah, there can be some developments in terms of MD as well. Nevertheless, for now, I can definitely say that if you're trying to fit HTML to any AI agent, it is going to take about 3 times more tokens to analyze it than MD. So if you care about the price that you pay for AI, then definitely it's worth to use MD and not HTML.
Good point.
Yeah, I have great experience with MDs, especially as a designer. I try to, like, every time I work on something, I like to visualize, for example, like the flow from step A, from A to B, C, D, like what are these steps? And with MD files, it's very easy, right? They have those Marmite flow charts, or how it's called, which is like machine readable kind of format, and LLMs can generate it, they can process it. So it's another way how to visually talk to machines. Just a tip. Yes, Petyo? What's up, bro?
Hi, hello. I have just a quick tip that saved me personally a lot of time. I'm not going to show anything because I was not preparing and I was not able to strip branding and everything, and it's covered under the NDA. But recently I've been using Claude Code to work with tables inside Figma, because anybody who worked with tables, it's a pain. And actually, there are two great helps that AI can provide in terms of working with tables. First one is when you have your table organized in columns and you need to swap rows or change row styling. It can actually do it at once. It can understand that this is a table, okay, it's organized in columns, but it can count which row is the third and change only that, and apply a set of variables to that. So that is one case. And the other case is correctly renaming the layers. And it is really crucial when an agent is going to code the table. So we did this with ShadCN design. If anybody worked with that system, there is a certain style of or naming convention in tables. And when you apply that to your table, you then have you don't even have to have a component ready. The agent can create the complete fully working table in just a matter of minutes without any like interventions from front-end designer. And it's all by correctly naming the layers inside the table. So that's my 2 cents.
Thanks for sharing.
Can I have a
And
question
that-
concerning this?
Yes, sure.
Just wanted to ask, now there is this AI in Figma that helps to name the layers. Did it help, or you did something else to?
It did not help because it just randomly renames the layers. This
Thought so.
work, it has to follow a certain convention that ShadCN uses. So in that case, I have to feed to Cloud Code the structure of naming, tell Cloud Code what's the expected content in every column, and then it will do its magic and rename all the layers accordingly.
Thank you.
Perfect, perfect. Yeah, so I'm afraid we are running out of time, and there is one last thing, the most important thing, why you joined, is to do the fun stuff at the end. We've got 2 free masterclasses for you and 1 professional membership annual. Because you are great, you joined to learn new stuff about how to be efficient with AI. So let's do a small game. Everybody can win. So let me prepare it correctly, because last time we did it, it was fiasco. It was we screwed up. So let's do better this time.
Everybody won?
Almost. So let me put it together. I hope we will see. Okay, let me show. So you could join. I guess it will also play the sound, right? Maybe. Yeah. So just scan it. Go there. There's a link. Just go there, join, there's the code, put it there, or scan it with your camera. Put there your name, so I would know who's the winner. Should get the reward. I already said that 2 masterclasses for free and 1 professional membership. I think it's worth $200, like that.
Is the link is in the calendar or where? Because my system is getting slower.
I'm sharing my screen, so let me put it to chat there.
Okay. Yeah, somebody else is asking. Okay. Cool.
Okay, keep joining. Will be quick, don't worry.
Oh, I leave. Okay. Oh,
15 people. Yes. 8 more. Maybe can we start? Okay, let's start.
jeez.
Sharing.
Oh,
15 people. 16, great. Last chance. 10 seconds, okay, to join. So we end up earlier, maybe. I still have 8 minutes.
And how does it work? Just before we start.
Yeah, I need to start it. I'm just waiting for people to join. Let's say 16, okay, 10, 9, you still have a chance. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's kick it off. You had it. So it's a quiz. So people answer the questions. Okay. Accuracy and speed.
So just one question? Ah, okay. Then it goes. Mhm.
Couple of more, like 5 questions. Great. Nice one. Okay, let's go to the next one. Are you ready? Get ready. Easy one, right? Mm-hmm. You're very smart. That's great. Okay, Ariel, great. Another one. Good. That's great. Tatiana. She's so smart. She's been IxDF member for a long time, so she remembers probably. So another one. AI-related question, right? Have you ever seen this movie?
Yes, 25 years ago.
nope.
And from the actors, I know only one. So it was just pure guessing.
I'm trying to do my lucky guess. Just read the name and which I like the character and just put it there. Okay, that's mine.
Choose by colors. And the last one.
Only
So
one.
that's hard, right? Oh, it's easy. Or 8. Nice. 9 people. Great. So who's the winner? Cool. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Well done.
Well done.
Oh man.
So,
Accuracy 0.
Tatiana, second place, Elio, great job, and Shalve, third place. This is great. Very smart. And because everybody is a winner in this game, let's do a small fun stuff again. You're not done. Let me share my screen so you would know you have proved that I do not cheat. So okay, so this one. You still have a chance, right? We wished Ludmila some luck, so also luck for you. And now, from this list, Tatiana, you have like infinite fame for collecting the points. But now let's pick the 3 winners, right? So let's spin the wheel for the free masterclass. The first one. Hassan, as you can see, congratulations. I hope I would find your email in the Luma kind of thing, or please put your email. Congratulations, by the way, or put your email into chat so I can connect with you. And okay, we have another. So you got your chance. Now let's spin for another masterclass. Alice, congratulations. Congratulations. Again, I hope I will find your email in the Luma page within the registrations, or please put your email into the chat. And now we will play for the annual 1-year professional membership on IxDF. So wish you luck. It'll be me. Almost. And who's 8? Nobody. Okay, that was a mistake. Not sure why. So let's fix it. So we have 15, right? And Tatiana already got one. Again. Some and Alice are out of game. Saved. Okay. Congratulations again. I hope I will find your email in the list of registered people, participants, or please, it's the safer options. The safe option, put your email into the chat. So thank you very much. It was fun, at least for me. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for joining. Thank you very much to speakers. Thank you very much for sharing your tips and tricks. It was great. Yes?
Yeah. Thank you very much. It was great.
And it was recorded, so I will try to upload it to YouTube. So I will share the link with you again. I have also like 2 other meetups I need to upload. I just need to create a channel for that. So thank you very much. Thank you for joining, and let's see you on another meetup.
Yeah,
Thank you
sure.
very much.
Have a nice rest of the day. Bye.
Bye.
Have a nice evening, rest of the day. Bye.